On October 2011, Dr David Christie moved to Heliair, Kentucky, with his wife and daughter. Just a couple of months later, in December 2011, they started to notice very strange tracks appearing outside their house. They initially assumed that the tracks came from the local wildlife. However, upon further inspection, the footprints looked like a small human footprint, but with no heel. In the coming weeks, small items started to disappear from the farm, which confused David's wife. However, David reassured her and told his wife that they are probably just being pranked by the locals. The owner's dog would bark erratically all night, every night. This led to David keeping the dogs in at night time, not letting them out. Several times they would wake up in the morning and would notice that the door to their barn was left open, despite the fact they knew they kept it shut. At this point, David had enough and called the local sheriff. However, the police refused to get involved unless someone was seriously hurt. Then in January 2012, David's daughter told her father that she kept seeing pale children with no hair playing outside her window all night. The same day, David found a wreath that was on the inside of his house, scrunched up and stuffed inside his mailbox. This unexplainable activity continued for weeks and weeks, and on one evening, the whole family was awoken by the screams of the daughter. She claimed that the bald children were outside her bedroom window and were trying to get inside. They then started banging on the glass. David went to his daughter's room, but the children were gone. The next day, the sheriff came to the property and discovered the same strange tracks under the window. However, instead of investigating the case, the sheriff did nothing and didn't investigate any further. To this day, we are not sure why the local police department didn't do anything to help. Shortly after, on March the 7th, 2012, Dr David Christie finally witnessed one of these creatures with his own eyes. He was awoken by a running sound outside. He put on his clothes and went inside to investigate. He then, while outside on his farm, noticed in the corner of his eye a creature roughly 4 foot tall, completely hairless, with sickly pale skin. David said that the creature had no facial features other than 2 big oily black eyes and a small slit where the mouth should be. Despite having what appeared to be a mouth, the creature made low guttural screams without even moving its mouth. David felt an overwhelming sense of fear that shook him to the bone. He then heard multiple similar sounds all around his property. David ran as fast as he could to the relative safety of his house. Upon entering the house, he noticed that one of his dogs had gone missing, possibly took by one of the creatures. Guilt and worry got the better of David, and he went back outside to look for it. During his search in the nearby woods, he came across an entrance to an old abandoned mine shaft. Curious to see if his dog was inside, he ventured inside a few feet. He then noticed dozens of items that went missing from his property, strewn about the mine shaft. He then heard the guttural sounds coming from deeper within the mine. Shaken and in a panic, David ran home and locked the door behind him. When he returned home, he called the police again, but to no avail. The next day, a friend referred him to a man called Newkirk. Greg had accumulated a massive experience when it came to the paranormal, but not with extraterrestrials. David wanted to seal the entrance of the mineshaft with explosives. He did not want to go public and jeopardize his reputation. He just wanted to get this solved as quickly as possible. He also just wanted to find someone who believed in this sort of thing and help him deal with the problem. Greg, however, wanted proof of David's claims. A few days later, Greg received several photographs of the strange tracks that David found from around his home. Greg analysed the photographs and took them to be analysed. However, nobody knew which species of animal made the tracks. They did, however, have dermal ridges, which are almost impossible to fake. David also took pictures of the entities and sent them to Greg. However, the pictures were taken in pitch black and the creatures were only seen at night time, so getting a photograph of them proved a challenge. David Christie was then never seen again, and the house was later found abandoned. Could this be that the whole family were killed? Or did David and his family run away, never to look back? This story is steeped in mystery, and it is clear that David didn't seek fame, but just wanted to have a normal life with his family on his rural farm. Investigators have visited the property in the past in order to try and find David and his family. They even discovered the mine shaft. However, no evidence of David or his family has ever been found. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think about this story, and I'll see you in my next video.